Got Your Back Pod Stream is brought to you by Mr. Dirk. From casual wear to suits and formals, Mr. Dirk helps you find the perfect fit with the right look for any occasion. Step up your wardrobe at MrDirk.com. Looks like the Oilers might have dodged a bit of a Bouchard bullet. 50-50 chance that the offensive blue liner is good to go tomorrow against the Vegas Golden Knights. Sure looked like it could have been a lot worse the way he was wincing in pain and limping around. Actually saw him down at the rink today. Josh Brown has been recalled, but 50-50 chance Evan Bouchard is ready to go. Welcome to Got Your Back, folks. A rare Friday night, non-game night edition, but we got the whole crew ready to rock and roll. Rob Brown here, Jason Strudwick ready to go. Did you see him last night? Oh, and Chris Sabunia manning the controls as always at the mothership in Kelowna. As always, our program is brought to you by our fantastic title sponsor, Play Alberta, the official gaming partner of all the major Alberta teams. Whoever you cheer for, Play Alberta is cheering you on. Bet on your favorites. Get in on odds boosts and make game time more interesting. Deposit today and get a $50 free bet with code GYB12. Visit playalberta.ca. Coming at you from our Adrenaline Diesel studio out here in Sherwood Park. Edmonton's premier heavy-duty diesel truck repair shop specializing in powertrain tuning, performance, and parts sales. Check out all they have to offer at adrenalinediesel.ca. And also, gentlemen, special treat on the show today. Caught up with Paul Coffey for about 10, 12 minutes. Had a nice, all-encompassing conversation about the blue line, the way some guys are playing, his take on Connor McDavid, what he's seen from Darnell Nurse. So we'll be hearing from Paul Coffey in a couple of segments' time. That's coming up in takeaways. But for now, gentlemen, welcome to the Friday night pod. So we adjusted last minute, Brownie. I hope we didn't kill any big plans that you had tonight, buddy.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you took me away from my buddy Stoff. I was doing a hot stove with Stoff and Mooner and Craig McTavish. And the band was just about to start. I was going to shake a leg. Me and Stoff are going to own the dance floor, but I had to come home to do a podcast. So no 80s music for me tonight.
What do you think Stoff would look like dancing, Struddy? I don't know. Has anyone ever seen that?
I've seen him skate, and that was a work of art. So why not? He was on the wet or the frozen ice on the dance floor. He looked like a very beautiful thing. Oil sliding across it. Beautiful.
Oh, boy. He is a beauty. Brownie, we missed you last night. Struds had multiple detonations last night. You probably felt the aftershocks and the reverberations. He started the show lighting up the Evan Bouchard hit from Ryan Hartman, and then proceeded to, well, quite frankly, go after his wife in Struddy's world, which was quite the turn of events.
I did see it. I saw that you were texting his wife as well late at night, and that really bothered me because it woke me up as well. So I wish you quit.
Oh, buddy. Well played, sir. Well played.
Creeps.
Nice job, Brownie. You got to put that thing in silent, man. Put that thing in silent. Struddy, any blowback from Shones today? Because I imagine she probably got word of the shots that you took.
Oh, she wasn't upset. She recognized her mistakes, and there was a very honest and true apology. I mean,
she apologized to you today?
She knows the error of her ways. I don't know how I have to. I'm a very easy husband to be around. I rarely get upset. We're going to maybe touch up one of our bathrooms. I don't really get involved. But when it comes to my pillows, just don't touch them. There's no need. I'm happy with what it is, what they are, how they feel, and they contour around my thick neck.
Oh boy.
I don't need someone doing it. And I know it comes from a good place, but just don't do it. Just let me live my own life when it comes to pillows. Hashtag
my pillow guy here. Yeah. Hashtag my pillow guy here in Edmonton. Brownie, you pick it all on pillows, bud? How's your pillow game?
Well, I am. I hate the big, thick ones, but I'll have a bad pillow and I'll hate it all night long, and then the next day I'll forget about it until I go back to bed the next night. So I'll end up having the same pillow for 6-7 months in a row before I eventually find my way down to the basement to change pillows. But we've got about, I would say, 9 on our bed. And I have like one, I wrap my arms around one. I got one between my legs, one under my head. I got a spare one to go under my head for when one falls on the floor. There's pillows everywhere in our bed. So I'm not as bad as Struds. If my wife switches it out on me, I don't yell at her. I don't go public with it. No, I don't do that.
I've got to share my truth, but I'm speaking the truth for other people that have the same issue at home. Right?
Struddy speaking his truth. Just checking, Struds, but was she, like, Shona was fine with me though, right? Like, she never said anything about my text being creepy, or like her and I are okay. I didn't want to follow up today because I just thought it would get weird, but was she good with me?
It was plenty weird last night. And she says, let Ronald know that I have no hard feelings, right? Like, no, whatever. What did she say?
She knows my name. She knows my name. I know she knows my name.
I made her put that phone down and said, you're not texting him back, sweetie. No way. Put that phone down.
Okay. You can't go to the well twice, Brownie. My goodness. Offside. Let's get to the breakdown, guys, because there was some news today brought to you by the Alberta Ram dealers. The Drive at Home holiday event is here. Get up to $13,600 in discounts on a 2024 Ram 1500 DT Laramie Crew Cab. Fantastic looking vehicles, powerful, elegant, beautiful on the inside. Check out your local Ram dealer today. Okay, gents, was down at the rink today. So Evan Bouchard was not on the ice, but we did get an update from Chris Knobloch. So we'll get to the Weiss Johnson Soundbox real early here. Here is the head coach on Evan Bouchard.
Just hit Bouch into the net, and obviously falls in rather awkwardly, and it could have been really bad if Pix hadn't been there. It looks like he probably would have put his head off the post, but again, Pix made another big save. So he just got banged up a little bit, and it's nothing major. We don't think it is, and we're, like you said, tomorrow we'll find out. Like you said, it's probably 50-50 to play tomorrow.
So, but like, Brownie, we didn't talk to you yet since this whole thing happened. It looked like it could have been a lot worse. When he was saying 50-50 today, I thought, oh man, considering the way that whole thing kind of looked, definitely could have been worse news.
Well, no, you said that you guys talked about it last night, Strudge. You didn't like it. You thought it was cheap on Hartman's. Is that what you're thinking? Or
that's exactly what I think. Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's funny because I thought that was bad. I thought there was one earlier. I think it was on Derek Ryan. I think, wasn't it Hartman that the puck was coming around, and it was Derek was about 15 feet away from the puck, and like he looked up like, are you kidding me? I just got absolutely bulldozed. So it's not like it was Hartman's first time doing it last night. I thought that it was one of those hits when you saw him go in there and just. I worry about things breaking. To me, if something breaks, then he's out long term. When you see him go to the bench, it just hurts, and there's probably a scare. But on our show last night, I felt that okay, he's going to be fine. There's nothing broken there, but there's probably some fear. And it's one of those ones, Struddy, where you get the stinger, where you feel the stinger go through your neck and into your back, and you're like, okay, oh no, this could be really bad. And you get to the bench quickly because you're like, someone's got to look at this before my body starts seizing on me. So hopefully he's fine. And the way I look at it too, they've got a game against Vegas. They got a game against Florida. As a player, you don't want to miss either one of those games. So if there's any chance he can play, those are 2 games that you want to be a part of. So I would imagine Bouchard will be in both games.
Might be a case of just having to get it heated up and loosened up. A lot of times when it's a bruise or something, it gets really stiff, and it's so painful to get it moving. You're like the Tin Man, and you got to just keep moving it and warm it up and heat it up, and then you get it going. And after the game, it just locks up again, and you just know how much it hurts to get it going. But once you get it heated up and going, you're okay. little A535, Mark McSorley special, and then you're good to go.
So assuming Evan Bouchard isn't good to go tomorrow, and we'll see, but today at practice, guys, it was, in fact, Ty Emerson elevated up next to Matthias Ekholm at practice. As it was pointed out last night, the two have killed some penalties together here recently. They've been on the ice a fair amount together, and he's the one that gets the look. Struds, what do you make of this? Because our sense on Emerson early was too soon for the second pairing. Got to let it breathe a little bit, let him get his feet underneath him, and he's been playing really well on that third pairing, and now, due to injury, might get elevated all the way up. Do you think it's the right call if that's the way that it goes?
It's short term, so I like it. There's no pressure on him. He's like, I'm not supposed to be up here. This is someone else's job. This is not one that you're being anointed. You are now this player. So he knows it's short term. And I think mentally that makes it a little different because you're like, I just got to do my job. I just got to do my job for this little time. I don't have to be extra special because when Bouchard's healthy, whether that's no games, 1 game, 2 games, 5 games, whatever, I'm going back to where I've done really well. So I like it. I like it's a little audition, but it's short term, Brownie.
And I also like the fact it's a reward. He's played well. So, I mean, if they were to bring in one of the other players, a Josh Brown or any of the other players and put him up there, well, Emerson deserves this shot. I think they like what they've done with Nurse and Kulak, how they're moving them around. And if you pull up Nurse and put him up there, you pull up Kulak, all of a sudden you're not as deep on the back end. And I think they want to, you're playing Vegas. Vegas is good. Florida's good. They're deep down there from 1 through 4. So I think it's the right move having Emerson there. A little confidence boost for him, a little reward for the way he's played. He gets to have Ekholm as his partner, and we've seen how well he's done with younger defensemen playing beside him. So if Bouchard doesn't play, I like it. I still think Bouchard will play, though.
All right, let's get to the Weiss Johnson Sound Box, brought to you by Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning. Get your home holiday ready with Weiss Johnson. With any new furnace installed before Christmas, they're offering free duct cleaning. Whether your old furnace is given up or you're just looking to upgrade for a cozier holiday, they've got you covered, and your ducts too. Visit weiss-johnson.com for more details. Jingle.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
All right, Emerson certainly earning the respect of his teammates as well. Here is the veteran Matthias Ekholm on what he has seen.
I mean, it's great. I mean, he's very mature off the ice. He's a very calm guy, and it seems like nothing's really facing him, which is a great attribute to have. And if you're going to play in this league, you got to kind of stay even keel because this game will keep you honest. You can feel great for a couple games, and then you're dash for the next night. You never know, right? So it's I think that's what he's done a really good job as of late. He's really good guy, and I think that his legs is his biggest asset. He really skates well, and he can skate out of trouble with the puck and make plays, and he's got all the tools, and I'm excited to see where his future is, because you're saying he's just scratching the surface with his game, and I'm sure he's going to build it even more throughout his career.
God, just skates so well, and he's learning to use it even more and more. I've loved the way this guy has skated from day one. He's not Kulak fast, but he's not that far off in my estimation, Brownie, with the way he gets around out there, and he's learning to use it.
First of all, do you not just love every time Matthias Ekholm answers a question?
Yeah,
like, does he not have
so
a
good.
job in media afterward? He's so good, so honest, and he talks to you like in a conversational tone. It's like, and you learn something every time I listen. I'm like, oh wow, that's good. Emerson, he's continued to improve. He skates well. He doesn't skate as well as Kulak, but he's more physical. He's got a physicality about him. He's not afraid. I mean, the fight he had yesterday, wow. In a game, he has a big fight and sets up a shorthanded goal that was the difference in the hockey game. It extended the lead. So he's continuing to impress, and hopefully moving, as Ekholm says, we're going to watch him progress as a defenseman. And I'm excited to see where he ends up. Struds, is this guy that's going to always be a third pairing guy? Is he going to be a second pairing? Or at some point, will you see him playing against the other team's best lines? Because, as Ekholm says, he can skate himself out of trouble.
Well, I mean, if he gets up to a top pairing, that'd be incredible. Like, that'd be ultimate trade for them two others. But I think for right now, he's in a perfect spot, and he's he's not just hanging on, he's actually contributing, especially on the penalty kill. And so that's really positive. So let's say he's now firmly entrenched as the third pairing defenseman. So can he move up? Well, why not? Let's see. He's played 57 NHL games, 57. So what is he going to look like after 114? When he doubles and maybe some playoff experience and all that. So I always have a hard time guessing what guys are going to become. Can he move up? I guess. I think a top pairing might be a bit much, but can he break into second pairing? Why not? But right now he's right where he needs to be. And I think that's a really important message for the coaching staff to him.
Yeah, this might have ended up being a great pull by the Oiler pro scouting staff. A great trade to add somebody at a dollar figure where you're getting, third pairing minutes with the potential to bump up by the end of the season at the dollar figure he's in at. And then you look at Pod Colson, right? You get contribution for a guy around $1 million up in and around that top six. Not necessarily a prototypical top six player, but a guy that's playing there and functioning there and, doing it on the cheap. Very much the same for Emerson. By the way, guys, in the interview with Paul Coffey coming up, talked in detail about Ty Emerson's game, about some conversations he's had with him, some really interesting stuff about Darnell Nurse and advice that Paul Coffey gave Nurse about how to handle the pressures, not just of the city, but of the contract, the whole bit. Just a really forthcoming Paul Coffey. Looking forward to everybody hearing that interview coming up in a couple of segments. Okay, gentlemen, so we've got the Vegas Golden Knights rolling in here tomorrow. They're rolling in hot, 8-1-1 in their last 10. Oilers are 8-2. Both these teams playing really well, 4-game winning streaks. Vegas has given up 5 goals in their last 4 games played, 11 goals they have scored. So they're rocking and rolling here, Brownie. But this is a great time for the Oilers to clash with this group because this is as good as the Oilers have played all year long. So great clash between Vegas and Florida the game after.
Yeah, this is one that you're looking forward to, the Vegas game. You're looking for this whole weekend. You got Vegas and then you get the Stanley Cup champions. But to me, I love when the Oilers are playing well and they get another team that's playing well also. I don't want to see them coming in and playing against a Vegas team that's struggling, that's all injured, or Florida team that's lost 5 of 6 and they're missing their top 3 players. I want to see the best on best. I want to see where the Oilers are. I want to see where Vegas is. I want to see 2 great teams going at it. If the Oilers want to get back to the Stanley Cup, I believe at some point they're going to go through Vegas or vice versa. Vegas is going to have to go through Edmonton. I don't think Vegas last year, so many injuries, they fell to a wild card spot. I don't see that happening this year. Both Vegas and Edmonton are going to be in the top 3. They're probably going to be 1 and 2. They will play each other in the playoffs. I can't wait. The game the other night in Vegas, that was fantastic hockey. I know it was a 1-0 loss, but that was great hockey. I mean, the chances, the saves, the physicality. They don't like each other. Vegas has got fantastic young goaltenders, so do the Oilers. The Oilers have got, superstars. Jack Eichel is a superstar in this league now. So I'm looking forward to it, and it's a test for both teams. Both teams are going to have a measuring stick night or afternoon. Both teams are going to say, okay, how do we stack up against the best? Because right now, Vegas and Edmonton are the 2 best teams in the Western Conference.
100%. And I actually, Brian, I'll just challenge you a little bit there. I don't think it's a measuring stick. I think they just want to beat each other. Both teams know they're good. I think everyone in the league knows they're good. So it's an opportunity for these guys to come out and just beat the other team. The other game was great. I really enjoyed that game. I love that game thoroughly. So now the Oilers have to return serve and just beat them. Not to show the league that they're better or show anything. Just beat them. That's why you play. And there's little to say, little to prove after that.
For sure. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. And by the way, how much do we love back-to-back 2:00 starts on the next 2 Saturdays?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Can we just
loved it
just
as
take
a
a
player.
moment?
Yep. Loved it as a player. Love it even more as a media guy. It's way
no
better.
Morning skate. Just game ends. You got your night left. Like, my goodness, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. You can't be. And then the games. I mean, seriously, this weekend right now, if you're an Oiler fan, these are Christmas presents. You get Vegas on a Saturday afternoon, and then the next game, it's the Florida Panthers, the Stanley Cup champs. That is a great couple of games.
By the way, us being on a Friday night here, so everybody's kind of got Christmas plans. We're pretty busy. We're not sure, like we're not going to be able to pull a post-game pod together Saturday after the Vegas game. We were eyeballing maybe Sunday night, but we're not 100% sure we can get there either. Everybody needs their space to have some family time, but certainly Monday night after the Florida game, we will be up and rocking and rolling. So keep an eye on our social media feeds. We'll let you know if we're getting up on Sunday night or not. That's why we're dropping a bonus Friday night pod here as well. Awesome comment here on our YouTube stream. This one comes to us from Noah Garver. It says, "Hey, Struddy, when my mom died when I was a boy, you gave me a jersey through your dentist. It is still the one that I wear. Major respects." Nice work, Struds. Not a boy.
Yeah, I remember I was hoping that the dentist would whiten my teeth for free, but that didn't happen. You know,
That's a nicer dentist story. The last dentist story that I heard from you screamed at the poor lady who brought her 3 kids in and they wore their boots inside. So this was a much nicer Jason Strudwick at the dentist.
Kinder, gentler Struddy. I love it. Nick Biskupek chimes in and says, "Shogger, send us the schedule." Won't do any good, Nick. We never stick to the schedule. Everybody knows that. The Got Your Back master calendar is not worth the paper that it is written on. Not a ton of action around the league, but we are going to do a Relentless Player of the Night. So, Struddy, get your brain on that one, buddy. Brought to you by UCAN Youth Services and Edmonton charity Relentless, in providing possibility for youth in our community. Mental health is the foundation for growth and success and the key to thriving, not just surviving. They have 2 in-house counselors providing free therapy sessions. Their youth have support while they navigate their struggles and rediscover their strength. Visit ucan.ca to donate today. We tell you about those mental health aspects. We tell you about those counselors because we want you to understand where your money goes when you donate to an amazing organization like UCAN. Got Your Back is a proud monthly sponsor, and we encourage you to do the same if you can. ucan.ca is the website. Struddy, who gets Relentless Player of the Day?
Oh, Shane Pinto was so excited the first game there. He scores, and he hadn't scored till tonight, and he rings the bell twice, goal 2 and goal 3. Doesn't matter how they go in. All that matters is he scored. And every time I watch him, I always think this guy should get a lot more points than he does. And he isn't, and he hasn't. So I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with this player. Maybe he isn't a high scoring guy, but he got 2 tonight, Brownie and Jogger. So feels good from Saturday night in Ottawa.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against
good.
him scoring next game too.
Okay. Very good, Brownie. Okay, moving on. Hey, by the way, there's a good comment here from Peter Matichuk. And you guys can comment if you think this is an issue or not. All right, Peter Matichuk says, "I got a challenge for Rishaug. Anytime you get into an argument with Struddy or Brownie, you're no longer allowed to have the last word. Let them have the final say. LOL. Haha. Do I do that to you guys because I'm the one in the driver's seat as host? When we get into arguments, do you find I steal the last word and then move on?"
Every time, yeah.
It's like arguing with my wife.
It's bad, hey? Okay, you know what? I want you guys to hold me accountable. That's not fair of me. I shouldn't do that. I need to just say, and we'll leave it at that and not feel like I have to drive my point home. That's a sign of weakness on my end, and I'm going to try and not do that every time. Sound good?
So is that the final word you just gave us there?
Well, no. I'm trying to self-improve live on the show as we speak, and you're not letting me. Hold me accountable. I don't think I do it. I disagree, but we'll move on. That was me doing it, Struds.
That's the final word.
Yeah, there you go. That is the final word, and we move on. Hey, you do not want to miss the next segment. Struddy, you want to give us a little sneak peek into Struddy's world? What do we got? What can people look forward to here, buds? What are you teasing?
I think it's a bigger picture NHL discussion about games played.
Okay, bigger picture NHL discussion about games played. Get ready, folks. Brownie Points, Struddy's World, Ask Us Anything is coming up. You've got it locked in to Got Your Back, presented by Play Alberta.
With over 18 years in the industry, Kelly Zaretsky and her team at Blue Summit Accounting deliver client-focused solutions and financial guidance for success in a simple and comfortable way. Whether it's for corporate or personal needs, Blue Summit Accounting can help with taxes, estate planning, financial services, bookkeeping, and more. Get in touch today. Email bluesummitacct@gmail.com or call 780-416-9662.
Specializing in heavy-duty commercial truck powertrain repair, performance, tuning, and part sales, Adrenaline Diesel's professional team is ready to assist you with all of your needs, from the simplest oil changes to engine conversions, overhauls, and engine modifications. Featuring an all-new online parts store and machine shop to manufacture, replicate, or repair parts, visit adrenalinediesel.ca.
I know.
All right, time now for actually, no, it's not time for takeaways. I've screwed this up. Time now for brownie points, brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. Their beef jerky out of this world. They sent that sweet and spicy jerky to the International Space Station in 2009. Yeah, it's that good. It's space food good. Just in time for the holidays, the stocking stuffer package is here. 4 half-pound packs of jerky, $55. And as always, free shipping Alberta-wide. Hop on to albertajerky.com to order yours and enter the code GOTYOURBACK, and that will get you an additional 10% off. Brownie, let's throw some points around, buddy.
I'm going to start with 42 for Leon Draisaitl. I believe that's what he has for points on the season. The Oilers every night have the best player in the world on the ice, and sometimes it's not number 97. Last night it was number 29. Struds and I do hockey academies, and I'll go on the ice with the grade 4s, and when I'm out there playing against the grade 4s, I dominate. Like, I can push them away with one hand, stick handle with the other hand, do whatever I want. That was Leon Draisaitl last night. That was an absolute clinic how good he was. He was the best player in the world last night. I got 70 brownie points for Calvin Pickard. He's won 70% of his starts this year. Backup goalie. He's 7-3 on the season. Your backup goalie is giving you 70% of them wins. That's a pretty good stat. And two of his 3 losses, I believe the Oilers were shut out. Had nothing to do with him. Calvin Pickard keeps doing this. This Edmonton Oilers team has a shot at winning the Western Conference regular season title. I got 13 for Darnell Nurse. He is the Oilers' best defenseman right now, has been for the last 6 weeks. He's gone, I know that Schauger, you brought this up a couple games ago, but it's now 13 straight games. He's been even or plus, and in those 13 games, he's plus 14. He is on an absolute roll right now, one of the big reasons the Oilers are having the success they are. I got six big points for Nikita Kucherov. He was very quiet, very, very quiet in the game here in Edmonton. He was not quiet last night in the southern Alberta town of Calgary. 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. And just like Leon toyed with the Minnesota Wild, I watched some of that Calgary game. Kucherov was toying with the Calgary Flames. A big night for Nikita Kucherov. And I got 9 brownie points. Last one for JT Miller. On a podcast, it's called Got Your Back. You got to give credit to the Canuck teammates, the ownership, and the fans that serenaded JT Miller. He was gone for a month for personal reasons. Hasn't even talked about it. Comes back, has 2 assists, was first star in the game. The fans went crazy for him. The Vancouver Canucks had his back while he's away. After watching JT Miller in the playoffs last year, I'm a fan of what he can do. And I hope he is healthy and is ready to play the rest of the season. But I got to give credit to everyone in Vancouver, the way they handled that, and having JT Miller's back. Hope he has a successful rest of the season. And the Edmonton Oilers get a chance to play against them again in the playoffs. And here's to JT Miller and the fans in Vancouver.
Yeah, they really let him feel the love. Hey, Struddy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did. And he's an important part of that team. I think he's the most important because he sets the tone. He's the heartbeat of that team. A lot of good skill around him for sure, but they're not the same without him.
Yeah. I believe there was like a wrestling event or something in there a few nights before, and there was a JT Miller chant that broke out at a completely different event. I can't remember where I read that. And then, of course, we all heard the fans serenading. When he wasn't even on the ice, they were chanting his name. Very much an emotional leader for that team. And nice to see him back and off to a good start. I agree with you guys. The league, the team is better when JT Miller's in there rocking and rolling, doing his thing. That was Brownie Points brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. Zuby, Time for Struddy's World. Roll the intro.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
God, I look good.
Yeah, get no respect.
Yes, it is time for Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products, with locations in Calgary and Edmonton. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, or builder, DLR is the most reliable source for vinyl fence. They've got unmatched service and high-quality North American-made products. Visit DLRvinylproducts.ca. As much as I would absolutely love to hand it over and listen to you talk about NHL schedules and such, Struddy, calling a little bit of a last-second audible here.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, the debut of Shona's World.
oh.
Oh, hey, Shoggy. I just, you know what? I don't always get to watch the pod or listen to the pod. And last night was one of those nights. I'm over here just trying to make the magic of Christmas happen single-handedly. And I was getting some messages about some pillow thing. And I need to clear a few things up. First and foremost, Jason, if you're looking for content, I am more than happy to share my creative juices with you. But like... that I took your pillows. I'm going to show you these pillows. Just give me a hot minute here. I'm going to show you these pillows, and then you be the judge of whether I would switch those out, if I would touch them. They're the most disgusting thing. They're misshapen. They're stained. It's too much. And have I suggested gently that he maybe replace them? 100%. Okay. So you really want to do me dirty like this, Strudwick? Game on. I'll play your game. These are his pillows, people. That is his pillow. This is it. Really? Of course I would try to replace these. I don't even want to touch these mangy things. But here's the best, you guys. You can't even make this up. Jason's pillow. Listen, hon, no one's trying to take these from you. Just so you know.
Shona's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products. What do you say, big guy? What do you say?
Well, there's consequences to everything, right? So there'll be consequences for that. I won't be wearing my tight jeans anymore. But no, it's true. Listen, I write my names on my pillows because my kids steal them. I have the best pillows in the house, and they steal them. So I do write. And if she looked properly, both names or both pillows would have my names on it. Jason's pillow. I write it on it so everyone knows.
Zuby, I think we got more in the way of surprises, I think, don't we, buds?
Yeah, I got a special guest here on the phone.
Jason, whether your name is on those pillows or not, no one wants those pillows, my friend.
People want them. People want, you know what? My daughter steals them. My boys steal them. You know,
hey, Shona,
I want me to tell you why they try to steal them. They try to steal them to burn them.
No.
Because
Shona,
we're all embarrassed by the way they look.
Does Jason have a sweating issue? Because there's a lot of stains in those pillows that are going through the pillowcases.
Guys,
Brownie, thank you for bringing that up. That was my problem with it all, is I have to change the pillowcases on those mangy things, and I wear one of the COVID masks. I have rubber gloves on. It's a problem. Like, you think he sweats when he goes into a doctor's office. You should see him sweat at night.
You know,
and I
if
have
you
the
turn the
temperature set
AC
to
on,
16.
turn the AC on in the summer. I won't sweat through my pillowcase. It's so hot in there. It feels like trying
that's
to
amazing.
bake bread.
Yeah.
Listen, can we replace Struds with Shona?
Yeah.
There just had to be some of that cleared up, because listen, I thought I knew what your content was going to be, and then you threw this one out from left field, and sometimes you just have to be called out. My sincere apologies.
I'm not offended at all. Just don't touch my pillows. I think we both understand. We've been together for well over 5 years now. You know how many sleeps that is.
Can I just before we let you go, Shona, and I mean, you've made the show tonight. You've made the show tonight. Can we
She's
just
on
clarify, Shona? Can we clarify how you felt about the text messages that you received from me last night?
Well, Rob, thank you for throwing me under the bus that we were in fact together. Sorry, Holly, that's awkward. But I can tell you what's interesting is I didn't find it to be creepy until you said, sorry, that came off wrong. It wasn't a 2:30 a.m. booty call. It was 9:30, and I took it as, hey, you're a mom. Are you up? Like, are you awake? Not, hey, are you looking for a little side piece? I don't know why those guys were giving it to you.
Yeah,
Because it's creepy.
I thought it needed context. I thought it needed some
I
context.
agree. Thank you. So we don't text another man's wife at 10:30 at night. Hey, are you up?
Yes, but
And what are you wearing?
If it's your friend, he didn't ask me what I was wearing. If it's
I
your
did.
friend's
That must have been my
close,
text.
like if it's
Check
your
my
close
text.
friend's spouse.
Well, listen, you two, thank you so much. Shona, really appreciate you taking a little time to set the record straight. You know, Jason has a lot to say on this show, and I think it's important there are people in his life that can keep him in check. And we welcome you back to do this again anytime you feel that it's needed.
Well, if I do hear in the future that something needs fact checked, I will definitely reach out. Sometimes, unfortunately, now I do feel like I need to tune in a little more often because I have to make sure there's
don't
some
worry. I'll be
legitimacy.
texting you. I'll be texting you if you need to know.
I want to just add, I have one more thing. I actually have an idea for those autographed pillows, Shona. One word, marketplace.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
That's 2 words.
Let's sell the pillows on Marketplace.
Oh my God. If
Okay.
someone tried to buy those pillows, I would intervene. I would give them a large amount of money to not take them, and I would burn them.
Those are expensive pillows. They were 50% off at the Bay. You don't just give those
9
away.
years ago,
All right.
hon. 9 years ago. You
They
owe
fit
them
my head
nothing.
perfectly. No, they're so fit perfect on this head.
Shona, you're a beauty. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll talk again soon, I'm sure.
You got it. You guys are the best. Have a good night.
All right.
Who's babysitting the kids?
What kids? Whose kids?
Shona's World, brought to you by DLR
Outrageous.
Vinyl Products.
Boo.
Oh, yeah.
By far, the
David's
best
Holy
world
Socks
of the year.
McDavid's Holy Sock says, red card Shogger. First you text your friend's wife at 10:30 at night. Now you shame him. Wow. But I know this is just you taking what Zuby did to you on the wake-up call on Struddy. Yeah, definitely. I'm taking it out on Struddy. Definitely.
That'll come back around
Struddy,
to
you got
me,
a
I'm sure.
firecracker on your hand. Yeah, you got a firecracker on your hands there, bud.
But she admitted guilt, trying to change things up, and
I
glad
missed that
she
part. Was that
acknowledged it.
early? Was that early in Shona's world where she admitted the guilt?
You could tell her in her face, her eyes were screaming. I'm sorry. I'm lucky to have you. Yeah, I know. You're right.
That was epic. Okay, before we let Brownie go, we're actually going to get to Ask Us Anything because we want to give people on the stream an opportunity to ask Brownie some questions as well. So let's get to Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. Whether you're looking to lower your monthly payment, shorten your loan term, or just want to understand your options, Maria Gallus with Maximal Mortgages has got you covered. Rates lowering right now. You could save thousands on your mortgage. So whether you're renewing, refinancing, or grabbing a new home or investment property, contact Mortgages by Maria. .ca. Zuby, that was a great idea to have Shona do that video and bring her on. Kudos to you, buddy. That was a great
Zuby.
idea, start to finish.
I know it's not you, Zuby. It's the creep
Well
next to my
executed.
wife.
Yeah, I did not have her number. I do now, but I did not at that time. Okay, a couple here that we can talk about. Machine Gun Yanmark wants to know, in the broader sense, we've kind of talked guy by guy, but he says, how are the Oilers going to make the roster work with all these forwards? It doesn't quite add up with Kane, Arvidsson, Skinner, Kapanen. If other players are injured, they can switch the LTIR. Do you think there's a bigger plan for this? Do you think they have an idea what that plan might be, or is it just going to be what time gives them with the guys coming back and going out?
I think they'll have a plan. You have to have a plan in place. You don't want it to all of a sudden, oh, hey, we got too many guys. What are we going to do? I think that over the course of the season, there always seems to be injuries, and sometimes it just falls into place. I think the Oilers like the fact that they brought in a captain. He's been better than I think many of us expected him to be. He's looked good, looked really good last game. They will have to make a decision if everyone comes back and everyone is healthy, but I still think they're a long ways away from that. I mean, Kane's still a couple months away, so I think they like the additions and Struds. I don't think there's going to be any changes until Kane comes back, and at that point, you don't know if there's someone else on the IR too. I mean, Arvidsson was a maintenance day, and it's been 10 games or so. So,
yeah, I think that's where it gets tricky is if Arvidsson comes back because you stop accruing as much cap space. I think that's the challenge. That do you want to give up on Kapanen? Because I think he'd get picked up, guys. I really do. Do you want to lose them, or do you want to keep the cap space or accrue cap space? And I think that's ultimately shown that's what they want to do is get the cap space, Shoggy.
Well, Struds, to Shogger and Struds, is if they do make a move, is it Kapanen now? Or is he moved ahead of other players in the Oilers' top 12 on the depth chart?
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. It would have to be Corey Perry, basically, right? Or Connor Brown, I guess, maybe.
What about Derek Ryan?
Well, Derek Ryan's winning faceoffs, and they have no centers, Brownie. Like, they got nobody to play center.
But eventually, Noah Phillips, the one that they want. Or there's...
Down the road.
So then there's that, yeah.
Yeah, down the road, I think. But, yeah, it's an interesting dynamic right now. I do think he's earned himself a longer look here, even if it means it slows the pace that they're accruing cap space. Zuby, I'm going to grab one here. Obelisk21 says, somehow you just knew there was no possibility Struddy was married to a wallflower. Yes, people expected Shona to have a little fire in the veins.
And it gives you confidence when you have a leader like myself to follow, right? And you learn how to be funny and witty. So lucky lady.
What's next,
right? I mean,
Reaper pointing out Leon on pace for 59 goals. That's not a question, but Obelisk adding, you have to think Leon's power play output is going to pick up as the season goes. Do you expect more power play goals from him? And what kind of goal total? 59's the pace, but he's not getting a ton on the power play right now. So where do you think he could land this year?
He's going to be above 50. And the power play, he's going to score more power play goals. I mean, history proves he will. So I say he'll score between 50 and 60 goals, and it'll be another fantastic year for Leon Draisaitl.
That's crazy. He's doing it with those wingers 5-on-5 that can't produce. You know,
he's doing it mostly when he's with Connor. But yeah, you're right.
Brownie's on those things like Shoggy's on the hit train. And I've got the penalty.
We all have our bullets to pick. We all have something. We do. We all have something. Yeah, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say he gets to 60. I think this is the year. The way he played that game last night, you guys, I mean, and he's not going to play like that every night. But if the Oilers if they improve themselves at the deadline and come down the stretch, one of the best teams in the league, like they are known to do, I think this guy is just going to crush it. So I wouldn't be stunned at all if he got 60 plus. This would be the year for
him. Last night, my buddy Gord Parchewski there was talking up Macklin Celebrini, as everybody has been lately. And it gave me sort of pause to think Bedard not having a great year, Celebrini and Michkov having wonderful years and showing what they can do. So the hypothetical question is, in 5 years' time, do you think there's a discussion? Is it possible that one of those two guys not named Bedard will be looked at as being the best player of this next group of young guys?
Yeah, I think it's 100% possible. I think Bedard, I've said, I think Bedard is going to be a very good NHL player, but I don't consider him generational. I don't know much about Celebrini other than some of the highlights. Kid from Philadelphia I like. He's got a ton of talent. But yeah, if one of those players or someone else we don't know, Logan Cooley, I don't know any of these players have the ability to be great. I don't know if when they drafted Leon Draisaitl, they thought he was going to become one of the top 3 best players in the world, and he has. So someone else might jump up. Struds?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of young talent in the league right now, high-end young talent, and so the possibilities there. And your point about Leon Draisaitl is well made. I really like Celebrini. I think that he involves his line mates really well. And he's kind of got some younger players there with him already that he's kind of growing, they're going to kind of grow up with, where I don't see right now a lot of youth, especially forwards in Blackhawkville for Connor Bedard to play with.
What's next, Zuby?
Here's something I picked up off of whatchamacallit, NHL Edge, that I saw on the old Twitter machine today. Teammates to both factor in on the same goal 400 plus times, and you can see Connor and Leon there, just past Rod Gilbert and Jean Rattel. So you can see these numbers there. They're 300, a little more than 300 back of Gretzky, Curry. So let's say Connor signs an 8-year extension. Where do they end up on this list? How high can they go?
Ooh, well, they could end up on top. I mean,
yeah.
Like if they both sign, if they're both here another 7 years at least, I don't see a reason why they couldn't get there. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, 100%.
458 already.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible for sure.
But the thing is funny, it might take them 15 years to do it together, where it took how long we're Wayne and Yari together for? 6, 7?
Yeah, for sure. Here's a good one from Reaper Zuby. Did you see this question from Reaper? How many days a week do you each exercise, and what is your favorite exercise as we get off topic a little bit? Brownie, you can start with that one since your answer will take the longest.
Exercise per week, all 7 days. I go to the gym 6 days a week, and I ride the bike mainly. Yep, I go 6 days a week. Today I went cross country skiing at Gold Bar downtown, or in Capilano, wherever it is. It was fun, and then so I'd say 7 days a week I exercise.
Wow, that's pretty good. Incredible. Did your heart rate ever go above resting heart rate?
Not sure how I knew something was going to come out of that. Yes, it does. I wear a watch just to make sure.
Two beats above resting heart rate a minute. Whew, taxing me. I try to do something quite a bit, and I just do different things. Everything like swimming, yoga, tennis. Like I said, I've bragged about how high I'm ranked at the club, and just a bunch of different things. Just try to stay active and moving. I don't want to live too much like athleticism or whatever. Be able to move around. I want to
Don't worry,
around.
you're not gonna lose too much, buddy. You're not gonna.
Could you imagine? It would be a tragedy if your feet slowed down, Struds. I mean, my goodness, what would be left of you if you lost your feet?
That's what I'm known for.
Yeah, I would like to be. My goal is 5 days a week. I would say I'm probably 3 is more accurate. I got to do better. I got to do better. It's time. My kids are all grown up. There's no excuses. Right. I got to do better than 3 days a week getting a workout in. 45 minutes on the elliptical, though, today, those Struds.
Yeah.
Solid, bud.
That's... Do you really want me to say? I feel bad. Everyone has elliptical just waiting for me to say something. How hard do you go? Are you sweating?
I'm sweating.
Sweat stain?
I have burned on, according to my Apple Watch, in 45 minutes, I'll have burned about 650 to 700 calories.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm not just on there for a Sunday stroll. Right. I'll pay a price. I'll be sore for 3 days. Zuby, couple more, bud.
Okay.
You're sore after getting off the elliptical?
Everything just tightens right up. It's no good.
Brownie, you touched on this. Nick Biskupek says, hate afternoon games. Ask us, do you guys like playing afternoon games? You indicated you like them, but did you find them difficult to get up for, or was it just convenient to play afternoon games, or you liked the whole aspect of it?
I liked everything about an afternoon game. You got to sleep in because you didn't have to go to morning skate. The pregame meal, you could have pancakes and eggs instead of spaghetti. The afternoon game, it was done earlier, so you could go for a nice dinner. You go out on the town. The thing I hated the most about hockey was waiting for the game. I hated having a game at 8:00 at night and you had to wait all day, especially if you're playing again in Montreal or playing in Toronto, or I'd be coming here in Edmonton. I hated waiting all day to play the game. And the one thing that was kind of cool we did in Pittsburgh, or the trainers did, if it was a 2:00 game, they would change all the clocks in the dressing room to look like it was a 7 o'clock game.
Oh.
So they would turn them all later
Right.
so that all the guys who have their rituals would always look at the clock and be able to do it at the same time, because most hockey players are stupid. So we can't really do the time change in our heads. So we need the clocks changed. So yes, I liked afternoon games.
Yeah, when I wanted my kid to go to bed early, I do the same thing. I change the clocks and they fall for it too. No, this is what I love about the morning games or the early games is that the time you have after now. So let's say the Oilers don't play Monday. You're done at, let's say you're walking out of the rink at 7, which I think is really late, but let's just say that. You can go for a normal dinner and get to bed at a normal time. And now you go have a full night's sleep. You have the whole day Sunday to do anything you want. Go to bed early again or whatever at a reasonable time. And now you're rested. Instead of the 8 o'clock game, you're getting out of there at midnight. You go eat somewhere. It's 1 in the morning. Damn, I left my watch at that bar. I got to go say hi to everybody. You know, like it just gets so much more rest when the other
I'm
way.
questioning you on this one, Strud. You called me out on something earlier. You're playing in New York. You have a 2 o'clock game and you don't play till Monday night. You're going home and being in bed at 9 o'clock. You have the whole Saturday night off in New York and you're in bed at 9 o'clock resting.
This is all theoretical, Brownie, right? It's in theory, but I'd get home, but in theory, but when I was there, I was married, so it was a little bit different. But you still like it felt like you had 2 days off, especially like a noon game. When you had a noon game, I'm walking out of there at 3. You know,
it was
have
awesome.
something to eat, go maybe check out a movie, go see a Broadway show, and then you go to bed, get up, the whole next day off. It was a day and a half off, and you never get those. You never get at 8 o'clock. You're still tired the next day. You're sleeping. You're not feeling good. Then you got to. It's just a disaster. Like the NHL should have a minimum number of afternoon games for every team a year. I've said
I think so too.
15, 20 games a year, so that the guys are more rested. Now maybe scheduling becomes different, but it's great.
It's funny you said that, and we've John Shannon, who you guys both know, we have him on our show. I've asked him about that. Why there's not more? He says the American teams. It's good for TV and ratings, afternoon games. He said Canadian ratings are not good afternoon games. They have to do late games, or they have to do night games in Canada. Because I asked the same thing. I said, why do we not have more afternoon games here? He said it's all to do with TV, and TV, they prefer night games in Canada.
All right, great stuff. Zuby, time to do some polls?
Yeah, we got a couple polls tonight. Also, I just want to say Gomez asked a really good question about some hypothetical Christmas gift giving to each other, and I think we should save that. That's a good one. We'll do it if the kind of like if there was no without it and without any with a little more thought can go into it. So good question, Gomez. We'll save it for.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Zuby, I'd expect a big old lump of coal from Struddy after that stunt you pulled tonight. Time now for our YouTube poll brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. Holiday deals have arrived at DeBoer's with savings you don't want to miss. 50% off all in-stock clothing and footwear, stocking stuffers galore, including Titleist Pro V1 and Strixon Z Star golf balls, all on sale. Could use some of those for the sim. Or for the golfer who has it all, give the gift of choice with a gift card. Locally owned and operated. 25 years they've been in business. What are you smirking at, Struds?
No, just for your sim. You mean your gym where you work out?
Yeah, it's also a gym. It doubles as a yoga studio and a stretching auditorium.
Calories flying out the door.
All right, Zuby, what do we got for polls tonight, buddy, from DeBoer's?
All right, we did one quick poll I did off the top here. Pretty simple. Are the Oilers back? The options were yes, no, or I'll tell you after tomorrow. That could have actually been folded into I'll tell you after Monday, because two pretty big sort of measuring stick type games coming up. So I've already closed that one. Should I just get to the results, or do you guys have anything you want to offer on that? It's not too deep.
What are people saying?
We had 78% said yes, they are back. Only 2% said no, and 18% still would like to see the outcome of big rivalry game against Vegas. And then our second poll here, this one is running much closer so far. Poll number 2, whose side are you on in Pillowgate? Jason or Shona? And that
How
one's
is that even close?
It's bouncing back and forth already. It's very tough.
I'm just voting here, guys. I'm just voting a couple of times here real quick.
It's clear.
Is it close? I see 52% right now. 52% for Shona.
52-48.
Shona.
Shona.
I'm voting
Yeah,
for
there's Brownie.
Shona.
She lost all her credibility tonight. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And then there must not be a ton in that family at all between the two of you. Okay, Brownie, you are cut loose, my friend. Thank you kindly. We may talk this weekend, but certainly after the Florida game, pal.
Sounds good. Have fun, guys.
All right, thanks for the fun. That was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. When we come back, our interview with Oilers D coach, Hall of Famer, Paul Coffey. Still lots ahead here on the show.
Gallery Dental, we believe in blending exceptional care with artistry to create the perfect smile for you. From routine cleanings to advanced cosmetic procedures, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch care in a relaxed and comfortable environment. With state-of-the-art technology and a passion for perfection, we ensure that every visit is a positive experience. Join the Gallery Dental family and let us help you achieve a smile that you'll love to show off. Contact us today at secolanddentistry.com.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
Time now for takeaways, brought to you by Horizon Ag and Turf. Don't miss out on Horizon Ag and Turf's 0 for 60 sale, happening now at their 13 Alberta locations. 0% financing for 60 months on John Deere compact utility tractors, Gator side-by-sides, and select lawnmowers. Check out the full line-up of in-stock inventory online at horizonagandturf.com or stop into your local Horizon Ag and Turf dealership today. We have lost Struddy, Zuby. Oh, no, he's back.
He's fast.
He's back. He disappeared for a minute there. Okay, let's get to it. Had a great chance to catch up with Oilers defensive coach, obviously one of the all-time greats in the game, Paul Coffey, a little bit earlier today. Got your backstory from him as well. Here's that interview.
Nope, hang on. I'm trying to find where I put the coffee interview.
That's okay, buddy. Take a minute.
I
Let us
thought I
know
put
when you're
it
ready
right
to
by
go.
take. Oh, here it is. Here we go. And
there we go. Take
two.
All right, Paul, thanks for taking some time for us today. I was thinking about the last year and a half of your life and kind of the ways in which it's changed. You're right back in the mix on all these flights, all this travel, all these practices. Some might call it a grind, but how are you finding it?
Well, I don't call it a grind at all. The grind is something you don't enjoy doing, but I love it. I mean, you're on flights, you're doing stuff, but that's all part of it. I mean, the day I walk into Rogers Arena or on the road and see that Oiler emblem, if I'm not fired up, that's when I'll get out. But I enjoy it.
So there was a lot of talk about your blue line coming into this season. People wondering what it was going to look like. I want to talk about the way the season has gone for a few of your guys. We'll maybe start with Darnell Nurse, because he obviously is such an impact player, such an important player for you. And the way his game seems to be right now, seems as confident as we've seen him in some time, as relaxed. What evolution have you maybe seen from Darnell, from where he was before to where he is now, and what do you think helped get him there?
Well, you're an astute guy, because he is very comfortable right now and very confident. And I think he's just very comfortable in his skin and in his game. I mean, Darnell's an easy guy to coach because you can get on him and he either performs for you or he doesn't. But we've had a lot of long conversations, one good one in the summer, one prior to training camp. And, I promised to deliver him with a leadership role on the ice, but it came with a cost. I said, you want the ice time, you got to play good. And he's done that. He's stepped up. Mark Stewart, who I work with on the back end, has done an incredible job positionally working on Nursey with a couple of things. But, you can sit here as coaches all you want and say, oh, yeah, we're doing a great job, this and that. It's on the player, and the player has stood up. We're talking about Darnell, and it's been a pleasure to watch.
What would people maybe not understand about him behind the scenes
Maybe when he's going through some of those struggles and trying to figure out ways to right his game, and then even now when he's going well. What can you tell us about him that people might not know?
One thing he doesn't do is cheat the game. He sat there, he was out for I think 5 days or 6 days, whatever it was, with his concussion. 2 days into that, he was riding a bike. A lot of guys won't do that. It doesn't matter who or what. They'll take the 2 weeks off the protocol. He said, prior to that, he was on a roll. He was playing good hockey. He did not want to lose his legs. Then he came back for that game against the Rangers. I said to him in the morning, you miss it? He goes, oh yeah. I said, one thing about this game, Nursey, you cannot ever cheat the game. He doesn't take optionals. He works every single day in practice. And our fearless leader, Connor, does the same thing. And I respect that in the player. The player is willing to work. As a coach, you're willing to work with him and you're willing to reward him. And he knows that now. And I guess I'm really not surprised.
Yeah.
He's got every attribute as a player. He's an early draft pick. He's very, 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 as I said before, coachable, teachable. Takes any information that Chris gives him. Gully, we talk different stuff on the power play. Mark Stewart, of course, and myself, and he's good that way.
This market can love the hell out of you at times. It can be hard on you at times. Darnell Nurse has certainly experienced that. Did you have any words or any advice for him on dealing with that part of it? Because that has been part of, the pressure on him in this market.
Well, the first thing I said to him, 3 or 4 years ago before I took this position on, I talked to him in San Jose, and he was kind of like, I said, Nurse, you got 5 minutes for me tomorrow? Nah, yeah, okay, no, but we're good. And I'm thinking, no, we're not good. We're going into the playoffs here. I didn't even have the position as a coach, but I said, I want you to be better. First thing I said to him, I said, you know why you're making 9.25? He looks at me and he says, why? I said, because you deserve it. You've earned it, so don't worry about that. There's nothing you can do offensively on the ice to earn that 9.25. But if you keep playing as an all-around defenseman, you're going to surpass that 3 or 4 times over. And he's done that. And he, I think the biggest thing with him is you got to be honest. He said to me 2 or 3 days into my tenure when I started last year, just don't lie to us. I said, Nursey, I don't know how to lie. I don't play games. Sometimes I'm brutally honest in a bad way.
Yeah.
But you guys will get to learn me, and that's the way I am. And tomorrow's another day. We'll shift to shift. And he's taken upon that. He's a proud guy, as they all are. I think having Eki here with him has helped him. I think at the start he might have been wondering, because Eki kind of took over the lead role as a left defenseman, but Nursey has learned to work with that.
Yeah.
Eki knows we are nothing without Darnell Nurse. He said that many a times to me. We've got to get him going and keep him going and keep him positive, but it's all on the player. Nursey's embraced it all, and I'm real happy for him. But we're just getting going. We're just getting going here.
It's been a pretty tremendous swing for your group, where his game has gone and what he's been able to take on this year. Brett Kulak is another guy that, I think some of his best hockey the last few years has been at playoff time. And it seems to me, Paul, that whatever Brett was able to do in the playoffs, he has now bottled and brought to the regular season. That quality of play that you were getting from him in the playoffs seems to be present here in the regular season. Not only that, he's found a way to comfortably transition to the right. And I know before, maybe it wasn't the most comfortable move for him, but he's done it this year. How has that happened, do you think?
Well, he never cared before playing left or right. It didn't matter for him. But again, it's just confidence, and it's pushing him. I said, cool, you can't be that good a skater and only accomplish this much offensively. It's impossible. I said, get moving out here. But he's definitely not a work in project, but a work in progress. But he's a player that you can teach every single day, and he loves it. He absorbs it. He thinks about it. He comes back to you the next day and says, I get what you're talking about now. And again, it's confidence. It doesn't matter how good you are. And again, not putting a player in a box.
Mm-hmm.
This is all Brett Kulak can do. He's a third pair defenseman. He can only play with this line. He can only play against that line. I always think that's a load of poop. You just got to challenge your players, and they will be better. But you got to remember, these guys are the best of the best. Playing in the NHL. Are they as good as some other defensemen in the league? I think they are. And I just load them with that kind of confidence, and we go out and play.
Ty Emerson was interesting. His acquisition happened at a time where Philip Broberg's no longer with the organization. Cody Ceci gets dealt. Everybody looks and sees he's a right shot. Oh, that must be the solution in the second pairing. As it's turned out, it's been a more comfortable fit for him on the right side, on that third pairing, which for a guy of his experience level, Paul, seems absolutely reasonable. There's a player here. what have you seen, from him in terms of maybe dealing with some of the pressure that came with the timing of his addition to the organization? People made some assumptions there, but there's a really valuable player in development here.
Yeah, there's a real good player that's going to be a pro for a long time. I remember saying to him a couple of weeks ago, and we're standing on the ice after practice, I said, walk me through your career. I didn't realize he was drafted by Arizona. He walked me through that, the minors, went to New York, went to Hartford, played for Nauber. And I said, so what happened? How come it took you so long to get up here? He said, I had no confidence. I said, coaches kept concentrating on what I couldn't do instead of what I could do. And I don't coach like that. I coach like they're my kids, and I peel them down, I bring them up a little bit. And he's an important part of our team. He can skate. He's not the biggest guy, but he's strong. He'll block shots. He'll fight when needed, and he's a good kid. And that's the kind of guy that will be with this organization for years to come. And that was a great find by Stan. I remember watching Emerson last year in San Jose. He did get my eye, but I wouldn't say he's a pleasant surprise. I mean, these guys are what they are. And it's my job, it's Stewie's job to make them better.
Sure. You've had some time. I know you knew Connor before and had watched him for years before, but you've been on the inside now. After spending some time on the inside, you've seen greatness before, many times. What strikes you about McDavid through the eyes of Paul Coffey here?
Well, he's as good as it gets. Listen, I played with Wayne in the prime of his career. I played with Mario in the prime of his career. I mean, Connor's just different. Nobody's like Wayne, nobody's like Mario, and nobody will ever be like Connor. He's a special kid. He puts a suit and tie on to come to the rink, it's business. He puts his skates on to go on that ice and practice, whatever, it's business. I think he, as a young guy, he's probably had pressure on him since he's been 9 years old, is maturing now, growing into his position. I mean, he plays every single night. He's fun in the dressing room now. And for me personally, at this stage of my life, being 63 years old, getting back to get a chance to work with the oil behind the bench and to watch him every single night is an absolute thrill.
So our podcast has got your back. We love to get a story from each of our guests about a time in their life where maybe somebody came through for them or somebody had their back. So what's Paul Coffey's got your back story?
Well, it's not a massive story or anything, but my first year in Edmonton, we traded for a guy from Quebec called Gary Riviere. And I was struggling a little bit, as most people in this town might remember, the older Oiler fans. But he came to me, he said, kid, I heard you can skate. He says, I got your back. You just do whatever you want out there. And it just gave me instant confidence to know that he had me supported on the ice, up and down, whatever. And it was good. And I often mention that with Gary. He said, kid, you got the wheels. Just go play your game, something like that.
Take you a little while to learn how to use that speed properly at this level?
Yeah.
It's pretty special speed.
Yeah, because you're 18 years old, your head's not developed yet. And that's the other thing, you're talking about inertia and Kulak and all our defense. The biggest thing for me, us being Stewie as well, is I tried to develop their minds, right? And as a young guy with that kind of speed, I had no idea what I was doing out there. I mean, it wasn't like junior where I could skate through everybody, so you had to adapt and learn your game.
Paul, really appreciate your time. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Great Paul Coffey, and we certainly appreciate his time. Love getting a got your back story from him as well, Struds. Said a lot there about a lot of their players, but what'd you make of that?
It seems like he's really very involved with his players on a personal level, right? Not just a blanket conversations, but he gets to know them each, and he's trying to support each of them individually because they all need something different and need to be pushed or sometimes prodded in different ways.
What do you think about kind of the advice that he gave Darnell Nurse, whether it was about the contract or just helping him kind of just relax and play the game, like instilling confidence in him was needed?
Well, I think just that contract is a little bit of the elephant in the room. And he says, I loved how he said, you'll never, live up to that contract offensively, but you can live up to it in different ways. And I love that. Just say it, just get it out there. Let's just get out and talk about it and just be honest. And it's an honest conversation coming from one of the greatest players to ever play the position of defense. Yeah. So what are you going to say? Okay, now if you're not worried about it, then maybe I shouldn't worry about it either. And Darnell's been so good in other ways, not just this year, but in the past. And I think that's the thing that makes him different than other defensemen in the league.
Just going to make an observation here, Struds. Outside of Darnell Nurse's game, doing a little bit of this in the time that Paul Coffey has been here, how would we sort of evaluate the performance of the defensemen that have been playing under Paul Coffey in his time here? Like, have any of them really dramatically struggled? Like, Vinny Desharnais kind of came into his own in a lot of ways. I know Manson helped him a lot, so there's some shared credit there. Yeah. But you look at Ekholm, Bouchard's game turned around, after the coaching changes last year. Yeah. Emerson's game has flourished. Stetcher has come in and done pretty well, maybe outkicked his coverage a little bit. Ekholm is Ekholm. Like, I guess what I'm suggesting is that not a lot of underachieving happening. A lot of juice left to be squeezed out of these guys. He seems to get a lot out of them.
Yeah, and I think we were all happy with Kulak's game 2 years ago. Was anyone frustrated? It's like but now he's taking his game to another level. And I think the one thing you could say is that since leaving the Oilers, Vinny Desharnais, I don't know if his game's dropped off, but he hasn't had the same level of success. So,
he struggled. I've talked to some people in Vancouver. Yeah. It's like Struds, it's been unplayable at times, which wasn't the case with Vinny here.
No, and understanding, what your players need. And then, like I said, keeping their confidence up while still keeping it honest with them. That's a really tough thing to do as an assistant coach. And it's clear that Paul's got something going on with these guys here.
For sure. And once again, we appreciate his time.
So good.
That was Takeaways brought to you by Horizon Egg and Turf. Let's get to a scoreboard, Struds. Not a lot of action out there, but a game to talk about. And that's brought to you by Canadian Club in honor of the founding year of the CC Distillery, 1858. The all-new Canadian Club Classic 18-year-old high proof comes in at a whopping 58% for all you whiskey connoisseurs out there. Their highest proof Canadian Club Classic to date. Full-bodied whiskey. Aromas of caramel, toffee, spicy vanilla, and a rich oak with a butterscotch finish that is so smooth. Struds?
Yeah, one game tonight only. The Senators win 3-0. Shane Pinto has 2 goals in this one here. Nick Cousins 2 assists. So, the Sens need to get a few wins under the belt and try to find some way to move up and under new coach Travis Green.
Yep. And again, Oilers in action tomorrow afternoon at 2:00. With the lack of game, Struds, just slide into the standings real quick here, buddy. I just want to just maybe take a breath and take a look. Is there anything that is surprising you? How are you feeling about where the Oilers sit right now? Here they've rattled off their 4 straight wins, 8 wins in their last 10 games. They're still third in the division. They're kind of out of that wild card spot for the time being, but haven't necessarily made up a ton of ground either during this stretch because other teams, Vegas, LA, playing great hockey as well.
Well, LA was on fire. What, they rattle off 6 in a row? I think it was 5 or 6 wins in a row. So is that what the Kings are? Or do we really think they're going to win that many? I think they might soften a little bit.
I mean, it's 30 games into the season here.
Right. But that's a 6-game winning streak, right? Listen, I don't think that they're better than the Oilers. I think that they soften a bit. And
they're going to get Doughty back at some point too.
They will. But I guess, I'll ask you this. If they finish second or third, whatever, the Oilers play them, are you worried about that matchup for the Oilers in the first round?
Not any more than I would have been in the last couple of years. So your point is well taken, sir.
Yeah. So I think this isn't like a juggernaut where you're thinking, man, they're going to really figure it out. Vegas is going to be tough to catch, but tomorrow they win tomorrow. What are they? 3 points behind, same number of games played and a lot of seasons to go. So, I think the Canucks will get in. I think the Flames, the Kraken, and then we know the rest will probably slowly kind of fade away. But I think those top 4 guys, I think they all find a way to make it.
Could be a major swing for the Colorado Avalanche here too. They get a pretty good player back in Nichushkin and then trying to tweak their goaltending here after some early season turbulence. Struds, do you think they can solidify?
Well, I think it was the insiders on TSN that talked a little bit about Mackenzie Blackwood. They're not just thinking this year; they want to test drive him for next year. Kind of a long-term deal. So, Mackenzie Blackwood had a chance in Jersey Devils, and he didn't get it done. So goes to San Jose.
Yeah, Mackenzie Blackwood was also one of those players, Struds, that if I recall, there were some struggles through COVID If I recall, he was one of the players, if I remember correctly, and I don't want to get this wrong, so I apologize if I do. I just recall there were some issues around the vaccination. Things were tense, I think, a little bit. I think there were some tense times because it was through those years, was it not, that he was out there?
Yeah, and then he goes to San Jose and he does, decently well on a team that you're going to lose every night. So can he find his game? And I'm not saying he can't. I don't know if he will or won't. But I just know that he did have some struggles on a pretty good team. And he was traded for I think a 6th-round pick to San Jose.
Yep.
So,
and that was in 2021. And this was when, we're not going to get into a conversation about vaccinations here, but this was at a time where it was a very poignant big deal. And he was the lone player on that team. And it was a difficult time for everybody. And I think he was one of those guys that might have struggled a little bit through that. So it's going to be fascinating to see how he deals with this opportunity. Potential Stanley Cup caliber team. It's clearly his, and there's lots of opportunity for him. And you hope good things for him. Because I want the Avs to be good, buddy. I want them to find a goalie and be good and compete.
Yeah, they need it. They need the goaltender to settle in and figure it out. But we'll know. Let's say we'll know by the trade deadline where Mackenzie Blackwood stands as the starting goalie for the Avs.
All right, that was our scoreboard brought to you by Canadian Club. Very quick break. When we come back, we'll take a couple of laps and isolate our play of the day. Stay with us.
At HSE Core, we are dedicated to providing unparalleled safety compliance services to small and medium-sized businesses through our monthly health and safety program management, including managing contractor screening registries and core auditing services. Let HSE Core Services help you maintain a safe workplace for you and your valued employees. Visit us at hsecore.com.
Ready to go all in this season? Mr. Dirk's got you covered with express on-site tailoring, a wide selection of craftsman-made suits, sport coats, and casual staples for every occasion. Score big with Mr. Dirk. We've always got your back. Visit us off White Ave, south of 102nd Street, or browse online at mrdirk.com.
All right, time now to take a couple of laps, brought to you by Acon. They've got 150 years in the construction industry, and they have spearheaded some of the most notable projects across Canada, one of the original leaders in heavy industrial contracting in this country, and they're proudly operating right here in Edmonton. They're always looking for great employees. So if you are looking for work, if somebody you know is looking for work, go to acon.com and click Join Our Team. Always a wide variety of openings, so check it out. Get back into the workforce if you are in need. That's acon.com. Join Our Team. Struddy, where do we want to go, bud?
Well, after a recent game, the Islanders were up 5-1, and then the other team rolled out 5-2, 5-3, 5-4 when there was very little time left, like 8-10 minutes left. And after the game, Patrick, I believe we had the sound, had this to say about for his team defending his netminders.
I guess times has changed, because in my days, if my team would have done that to me, I will break a stick in that room. I'll be very upset to see my team playing like this in front of me. Ilya is a gentleman. He's a first-class person. But that was unacceptable. We didn't compete. We didn't battle in front of the net in the last 8 minutes. That's unacceptable. We talk about it this morning to be stronger. Our goalie deserves more respect than this from ourselves.
So, saying a lot there. How do you think the players in the room process that, buddy?
I think they agree. Listen, they agree. And I know he's a former netminder sticking up for his goalies, but I always felt sick when it felt like our group of skaters just stopped trying and the goalie was just getting abused because the goalie one who wears it, right? He wears that goals against for that night and he's just getting abused. And it's because they can't hide, right? You can't hide, especially if you're not the starter. If you're the backup and you're in there and things go bad, they're not putting the starter in for you. You have to ride it out. Terrible. So I do agree with them. And I do believe that Patrick would have been breaking sticks after a performance like that. And I know that goalies I played, like Henrik Lundqvist, would have lost it if we gave up like that on him and the game.
I feel like that happens maybe more often than people would think, Struds. A goaltender coming in, not him against the team, but more him with some frustration because it so dramatically affects him.
It affects the stats, but it also just, I think I know, Pat, I think, I forget who commented on the stats. I believe it just feels like you're not cared for because the guys just stopped trying. And that I don't know if it's a lack of respect, but maybe a lack of understanding that you're just leaving them out on an island to just get punished. And I think that would be really frustrating. As a skater, you have no idea what that feels like because there's always someone around you to pick you up. You make a mistake. Hopefully someone can help break that, to break that mistake. But as a goalie, there's no one. If the guys aren't trying, you're screwed. So I think that lonely feeling would be the worst thing. And I never wanted my goalies to feel that way.
Yeah. Where else, buddy?
Just last one, I guess, Justin Schultz. Hell of a career. What is it? 2-3 Stanley Cups. I think his career earnings are around $50 million. And he was whenever couldn't get a deal that he wanted or whatever, goes over to play in Lugano in Switzerland. I played there as well. Obviously couldn't cut the league. And no, just kidding. But he retired today. Just said I'm done. I'm finished. And you know what? I'm happy when players can walk away from the game because they're done. Like they don't have anything left to give. And he has nothing left to prove. He's had amazing career, second rounder. I loved it. I loved it for him that he can do that. And like I said, amazing career.
Yeah, I agree. Super nice guy too. Had the opportunity to cover him in his 3-4 years here in Edmonton. Really nice guy. And wish him well in his retirement here after hockey. That was Taking a Lap, brought to you by Acon. Before we get to our play of the day, Zuby, I am sitting here stunned. I am stunned at the results of this second poll you did, courtesy our friends at DeBoers.
Oh.
Like I thought I knew our viewers. I thought I knew them to their core. And they have left me shocked tonight with the way they have landed on Pillowgate.
Yeah, the only L Struddy has taken on a poll so far is Love Actually. Other than that, he's pretty much undefeated on the poll. So our second poll question tonight was, whose side are you on in Pillowgate? It was it was jumping back and forth. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to stop it because it kept switching. But it finished with Jason Strudwick, 60% of the vote, Shoena Strudwick, 40% of the vote. So
overwhelming.
This is disappointing.
Overwhelming. That's a resounding vote of confidence.
It's not resounding.
What?
That is not.
It's a landslide. I haven't seen a landslide like this since I won the vice presidency in grade 6. No, honestly, guys, it's just clear that's people understand the sleight of hand my wife was trying to pull with the pillows.
If you're a 60% face-off guy, hey, everybody wants you, right? So
incredible.
I understand.
Yeah,
this.
you're sucking up now because having Shona on was your plan and your
I'm not
idea. You're
upset.
trying to suck up to the big guy now.
I'm actually glad I was able to bring it up. My wife has now been revealed to be who she really is. Someone that tries to
True
play
colors.
little pranks on her husband. Yeah, so funny. Ha, ha, ha. Not so funny now, is it, Shona?
Gomez says, I'll trade you a sweaty pillow for a got your back hat. You do need to get rid of those pillow Struds. That was some rank something going on there, buddy.
They're good. I sleep like a baby on those things. And then my name's on them. Autograph. Someday I'll put them up on the Facebook marketplace. I'll get them for sale.
There's
Can
been
you explain?
Sorry, I was just going to say, there's been lots of people want to know what the next, we need to get back into the marketplace thing. People want to know what the next thing you're selling is. It's come up lots. And that, of course, was part of your Wikipedia page editing that was going on yesterday too. I dug a little deeper into the Wikipedia code too. You can go in and see. And yeah, somebody was in there messing around because there was about 14, 15 edits in the same day. And then they kept undoing it.
Yeah. I might have to do some grad sailing in the new year, just to accumulate some pieces to put up on the marketplace. Cause I love grad sailing. I'm a big grad sailor. So maybe that's how I get, because right now there's nothing I have I want to move. Once I do, I'll let everybody know we can get some bids
there's
on
two disgusting pillows you need to move right now. And the way this vote went makes me believe, Struds, you could probably sell those pillows.
Why they're perfectly fine. I don't want new pillows. I will go to the bank and get some new ones, but I'm not. They're not happening anytime soon. The expensive pillows, man, $50 when they're 50% off. That's pretty big.
Those are literally worth nothing. Those pillows, as we viewed them, are worth nothing.
Big bankroll for the pillows.
Time now for our play of the day as we wrap it up. Brought to you by Gallery Dental. Air polisher cleanings, advanced treatments, they got it all. A full range of services designed to keep your smile healthy. Their experienced team provides personalized care with the latest tech to make sure you get the best treatment possible. Contact Gallery Dental, YEG.com. And for this one, Struds, we are going to go out to Otwell School today, where Connor McDavid dropped by. And this was awesome. So a bunch of schools got together and rallied, tried to raise money for the Ben Stelter Foundation. A whole bunch of schools got in on this, and the more money you raised, the more chances you had at a draw to get McDavid out, and there he was today. So how about this? $73,000 raised between all of these schools across Alberta. Some honorable mentions here for sure. Sturgeon County raised the most, $16,000 they ended up raising. But Otwell was the one that won the draw. And so Connor McDavid went out there today, paid a visit to all of the kids. They had a fantastic day. The Ben Stelter Foundation, we know McDavid has shown up time and time again, as has Oil Country for this thing, Struds.
Yeah, so cool. Good for him. Good for everyone involved. Like the energy those kids put into that, and the school administrators and teachers. I'm really impressed. I saw that today. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and good on McDavid, right? Team's not got a lot of time off these days, and take some time to go out there and do this today. Saw a little bit of video when he walked in, and man, did those kids light up. So good on him, and good on those kids for raising money for a fantastic cause. All right, Struddy, scale of 1 to 10, buddy. You and Zuby still friends, or is like where are we at here with you two? We got a little damage control to do between the two of you.
I can see through his crocodile smile. It's no big deal. But you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna go rest my head on my massive, stout, stiff pillows and have a great sleep. And knowing that my conscience is clear, I did nothing wrong.
I like that Shogger thinks you're apparently you're not going to talk to your wife and find out how the real machinations behind the scenes.
This guy thinks he's a Wizard of Oz. Hey, Shogger thinks he's a Wizard of Oz. I see right through his crocodile smile too.
Yeah. My wife was petrified. She came up to me today. She was like, does this mean I might have to go on the show sometime? I said, no, you're not allowed. So don't even try it, Struddy, and lose her number.
No, it's great. No, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, well, there'll definitely be a talking to all three of you, including my wife, after the show.
Sounds good. All right, buddy. Thanks for the fun time. Zuby, great job today, buddy. Nice job pulling that all together, you evil, conniving son again.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Thanks to all of you for joining us on the live stream tonight. Yes, a surprise pod on a Friday night. Like I said, keep an eye on our social feeds. We'll see what we're able to pull off this weekend, but could be Monday night before we talk to you again. There's going to be tons to talk about. A great few days coming up in Oil Country with these games, and look forward to chatting more. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thanks for your views and your subscriptions and coming along for the ride. And thanks, of course, to all of our amazing sponsors, including our title sponsor, Play Alberta. Talk soon.